I bought this deck of cards from my buddy that owns a magic shop because, I mean, everybody has that friend, right? And I made sure to get a cyberpunk version of cards. Bicycle makes all sorts of different styles and themes of cards, and I actually had never thought to look for cyberpunk cards, but there they are. And these are perfect to play a game that I found by Spencer Campbell of Gila RPGs. I always grew up calling them Gila monsters, so in my head I saw it as Gila RPGs, but then Spencer was on a podcast and talking on his own YouTube channel and called it Gila. I was like, all right, it is Gila RPGs now. So he made a game called Rigged, and it's a cyberpunk game that's kind of journaling specific. And the way it works is pretty straightforward. You roll 1d6, and that's how many cards you flip over, or you deal out. You flip them over one at a time, and whatever card that is, that's the thing that you've got to do. It's like, oh, you found an opportunity for another run or whatever it is. So there are 52 different things. In big picture, the idea is that you are trying to hack into a megacorp's mainframe, and when you find what you're looking for, that's the Ace of Hearts, and then you've got to get 10 bits of information out of it. You can use 10 tokens or whatever. But the idea is that the kings are bad things happening. If you get 4 kings, you're dead. And if this happens, you're dead. The idea is that, well, it's really difficult to make it out alive. And that this character is caught in a cycle and just near certain death, zero chance of success, but not zero, but near zero. And another element of it is that you're supposed to have a Jenga tower. It says wooden block tower, I guess, to avoid lawsuits, but I don't have a Jenga tower. And that's part of the risk factor. So some of the cards, you turn them over, it's this and take one block out and put it on top. Well, I don't have a block like that. So what I'm going to do is take a note from kind of inventory management or a timer, and I'm going to use just a normal set of dice, a 7 dice set, and I will start with the d20, and anytime that it tells me to move a block to the top, I'm just going to roll a d20. If it comes up a 1 or a 2, it gets dropped down to the d12, and anytime I roll a 1 or a 2, then it gets dropped down to the 10 and on down. So that's the failure spiral that you get caught up in. But to me, I like that as the uncertainty mechanism to represent how close the enemy AI is getting, or other hackers or whatever it is. That just represents how close you are to your brain getting fried. So no Jenga, use the dice instead. 1 or a 2 equals steps down until you get to a d4. You got a 50-50 chance of surviving. And then if you are out, you are out. Okay. So you can find this game on Gila RPGs on itch.io. I don't see it on drive-through, but there are a bunch of games, and I'm a pretty big fan of Spencer's thinking about games and how they work. So you could check out Rigged, and there's a little bit of a preview here and what different suits mean. Hearts represent your attempts to overcome the security systems. Diamonds represent your rig and the only chance, right? So go ahead and check it out. It's like $5. Now, it being a journal game, I want to kind of kill a couple birds with one cyberstone, which is I like how straightforward this is. It's not sandbox, it's not railroad, but it's very clear what to do. Very clear. So there's not a lot of imagination that I need right now in terms of what happens next, because the cards tell you exactly what's happening next. But what I do want to do is practice my creative writing skills. I write a lot for work. I write performances, keynote speeches. I write a lot for communication, but I don't do a lot of creative writing, fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, cyberpunk. I don't really do that. And the only way to get better at it is to be awful at it for a very long time. So in my head, this is the perfect opportunity to play a game by myself. Whenever I get a couple minutes to do this, I can go through the procedure, and then I've got my narrative structure already laid out. I've got my outline of what happens, and then all I have to do is fill in the blanks of the story of it happening. So to that end, I wanted to share any of the sessions that I do, because in my head, I think it's interesting to put somebody in a situation that you have near zero chance of success and they're probably going to fail, but they just keep going back through, kind of like a Groundhog Day idea. So it hit me. It's like, oh, okay, why not just make this a Groundhog Day kind of a thing where this hacker just keeps coming back? Now, side note, a lot of people love over explaining their world, and like Sanderson and his fantasy and magic, and it's a hard magic system, and they want it to be, they want magic to just be engineering with sparkles, and I hate that. It drives me nuts. Magic is the disconnecting of cause and effect. You have no clue how it works, and it doesn't work by cause and effect means. You do this thing over here and this effect completely separated from it. That's magic. If you could explain it as engineering, well, now it's engineering, it's not magic. So I don't care about exactly how this happens and satisfying every last you have to explain everything thing. And part of this comes from watching Aeon Flux on MTV way back in the day. I loved it. It was, what, 12-minute episodes or something? And the main character, she died in every single episode. Next episode, she was off on another adventure and she would die. In episode 3, she dies. No explanation. None. None whatsoever. It just, that's how it works. So, in my head, let's do it that way. So in my thinking, this hacker is going through it again and again. So to that end, I've made a website. It's just called Terminal Recursion, and this is the landing page for it, basically. So this terminal recursion colon tilde percent enter with the cursor blinking here, and it look, I've got the CRTV effect on the website as well. So then you click enter, and then it will take you to the stagrpg.com website, where I've got it under the blog, and then I've got a stories category, and then I've got a subcategory for terminal recursion. So the main blog will be updates and news and that kind of thing. And then the stories are going to be me playing this journal game and posting the story as it happens. So I want to include some of the mechanics of here's what I rolled, here are the cards I pulled, and how it went through from the mechanical side, while also putting it in story format that it might become a book. Who knows? Multi-million-dollar property. I don't know. Spencer, let's talk about making that work, right? So I don't know what the license is. I'm not making any money off of this, but hey, Spencer, I'll send this to you. Hopefully you see it and you let me know how crazy I can get with this. But I just absolutely love this idea, and I like the idea of being able to do some creative writing, do some cool stuff, and share that with the world. So if you want to follow along, then go sign up for the email list. I'll make sure to send out updates that way. And let me know if you would like videos of, I guess it would be called actual play, and this would be session 0. But I've been thinking about it, and if I have to make a video every time that I play, I have very little time to make videos because, well, I got a full-time job. Sometimes that involves traveling. I've got a 2.5-year-old toddler and a 8-week-old newborn daughter here. So the only times I would be able to play would be when everybody's asleep and I'm tired and I've got 10 minutes to roll, see what the cards are, and then I could write throughout the day when I've got time. So turning those into videos would make sure that I never get to play, right? So maybe I'll make a recap video and explain what happened and do that and then share an update. I don't know. So let me know what you would think would be interesting. So I might do recap episodes, kind of like a behind the scenes of here's what I rolled, here's what I was thinking, kind of a director's commentary behind the scenes on the Blu-ray kind of thing. Might do that and share that at the foot of the stories that I'm writing. So this, I guess, yeah, is session 0 for Terminal Recursion. I love cyberpunk. I love the concept of embodying our tools. I think human beings are wired for that since electricity got involved with our tools. So I'm just stoked about it. Thought I would share that, and go check it out. Go check out Spencer's work. He's got a lot of neat stuff. And if there's anything else that you would like to check out, then go subscribe to this channel, like it if you've gotten this far. And also, if you're wondering about this holder and where you might get a holder for your dice and stuff, then go watch this video right here, and I'll see you over there.